A gang of teenagers turn violence into entertainment. They roam the night looking for victims. They jump strangers in the street. They beat and rob whoever they can corner. They break into a home and turn violation into a spectacle. The kind of scene you can't describe without using the words YouTube loves to punish. That is A Clockwork Orange. Most people met it through Kubrick, but it starts as a 1962 novel by British writer Anthony Burgess, and the book is doing more than shock for shock's sake. Burgess is showing you a pattern. Brutality is ritual, not impulse. Before the night begins, there's the cocktail. Burgess codes it in his own manufactured slang, but the function is obvious. One part is there to warp perception and loosen identity. The other is to sharpen impulse and drive action. Synthmesk, Velocet. Cute names, ugly purpose. Chemistry used for conditioning and control. A hallucinogen to soften the mind, a stimulant to stiffen the spine, and suggestion sitting in the middle, because that's when a person is open enough to take the script. And Burgess is writing from somewhere very specific. During World War II, he's stationed in Gibraltar with the British Army Educational Corps, teaching the British way and purpose. British colonialism taught as curriculum. Gibraltar is not a random assignment. It's a bottleneck. A rock at the mouth of the Mediterranean where ships, soldiers, refugees, and messages all get funneled through the same narrow corridor. Accounts of his service also place him close to intelligence debriefings on the rock, where his facility with languages had him working alongside Dutch expatriates and Free French moving through a wartime choke point. In a place like that, debriefing isn't a formality. It's extraction, sorting, the systematic process of determining who you are, where you've been, what you've heard, and what can be used. Persuasion isn't a theory there, it's a tool, and tools leave fingerprints. So when Burgess embeds that sequencing inside a novel years before the public have a name for the conversation we're about to have, the resemblance is difficult to ignore. Maybe it's coincidence, maybe it's observation, maybe it's simply a writer recognizing a pattern before everyone else catches it. What matters is that the sequence doesn't stay on the page. A few years later, it shows up in California, not as fiction, as working method. Hallucinogens to fracture, stimulants to trigger, suggestion to steer. And by 1969, it had a face. Charles Manson. Welcome back to Convergence Points. I'm glad you're here. In part 1, we traced the pipeline that turned California's counterculture into a managed environment. A whole ecosystem that looks like freedom on the surface, but keeps routing people through the same hands and the same institutions until it stops feeling organic, starts feeling organized. This time, we follow what that environment produces. Now, before I forget to mention it this time, much of what follows is drawn from Tom O'Neill's reporting in Chaos, Charles Manson, the CIA, and the Secret History of the 60s, alongside court testimony and contemporaneous records. If you have the time, I highly encourage you to pick up a copy for yourself. It's a masterpiece of investigative journalism and the culmination of over 2 decades of meticulous, persistent work on O'Neill's part. And there is far more there that we can cover here today.